Welcome to Matematika. Today we're going to do some problems of quadratic function using the vertex form. If we try to remember the vertex form, y equals a times the quantity of x minus h squared plus k. What does the a stands for? All right. A indicates the direction and the steepness of the curve. Okay? If A is positive, then that means the parabola opens up. If A is negative, the parabola opens down. As A approaches 0, then the graph compresses. Well, the H is the x value of the vertex, where the vertex is h comma k. Okay? So when it's addition, it moves to the left. When it's subtraction, it moves to the right. K represents the y value of the vertex. When it's addition, it moves up. When it's subtraction, it moves down. I think these are the three most important factors that we have to remember when it's a vertex form. Okay, first of all, we are reviewing here what the vertex form is all about. Now, when we do pre-calculus, mostly in quadratic functions, we are dealing with problem solving. But first, we have to know how to convert from standard form into a vertex form, especially if the problem is giving us the vertex form. Okay? So this is our vertex form, and let's see what happened to our standard form. All right. We have y equals x squared plus 16x plus 71. Let's do the step. First, we have to identify the coefficient of x. So the coefficient of x is 16. So that means make it half. That means we have to divide it by 2. So the first step, I will write step 1. Identify the coefficient of x. So in this case here, our coefficient of x is 16. Okay? Step 2. Divide 16 by 2. Okay? So we divide our resulting number by 2, and that is 8. Then after dividing, we have to square it. Okay? So divide by 2. Then the resulting number we have to square. Square the resulting number. Okay, I'm going to say then square. The resulting number. So what is our number here? It is 8. So we're going to square that, and that will become 64. Okay. Step 3. You're going to add and subtract, the squared number in the x term in the expression. So we have y equals, let's go back to the expression, 16 y equals x squared plus 16x. So in the x expression, we're going to add 64 and subtract 64. Then plus 71. So that is step 3. Add and subtract. You're going to add and subtract the squared number. I would say the squared number after the x term in the expression. So I want you to look at what I did. After the x, I add and subtract 64. So let's simplify. Step 4, you have to factorize, factorize the perfect square. Okay. Okay, let's do this. So y equals x squared plus 16x plus 64. So I will have that trinomial. Then minus 64 plus 71. So when I factor x squared plus 16 plus 64, that would be x plus 8 and x plus 8. So when you do FOIL, you multiply it back, you come up with x squared plus 16x plus 64. Then minus 64 plus 71, we have plus 7. Or we can write this down as x plus 8 squared plus 7. This is the vertex form. So here, the vertex form is y equals x plus 8 squared plus 7. If we want to know the vertex, that is hk, so where is the h in this vertex form? This is the h and this is the k. So the vertex would be 8, 7. This is the h and this is the k. Okay. We'll have one more. Okay, I'm going to do this. Let's have one more, 2. Y equals x squared minus 2x minus 5. Okay. So what is our first step? It's negative 2, right? Then step 2, you divide by 2. That is negative 1. Then you square negative 1 squared. That's equals to 1. So that means writing it down in our standard form and adding and subtracting. So negative 2x plus 1 minus 1 minus 5. So I add and subtract 1. So using the trinomial 2x, we have to factorize it. Minus 1 minus 5, that's minus 6. So the factor of x squared minus 2x, that's x minus 1, times x minus 1 minus 6. So x minus 1, we have 2, so we square it, minus 6. And this is the vertex form. Okay, I hope you remember this when you were in your, is this algebra 2? Okay, let's apply the vertex form in a problem solving. In a problem, I mean. Okay, so let's do a problem right here. A hovercraft takes off a platform. Its height in meters and x seconds after the takeoff is modeled by h of x equals negative 3 x minus 3 squared plus 108. Okay. How many seconds after takeoff will the hovercraft land on the ground? So let's say, for example, this is the ledge right here, and then it will be thrown. In how many seconds would it reach to the ground? Time is asked. All right. The hovercraft, when it lands on the ground, so that means the h of x would be 0. There is no height when it lands on the ground. Okay? So we could substitute the h of x, as 0. So we can have as x of x equals 0. Then we could have a negative 3 from the form modeled, that is x minus 3 squared plus 108 equals 0. Okay. Now let's simplify because we have a negative 3 right here. Let's do this. Let's move the 108 to the right. So moving to the right, that will become a negative. Let's take up negative 3 by dividing negative 3 on both sides. So we have now x minus 3 squared. 108 divided by 3, that is positive 36. Now remember how we take out the squared sign by squaring both sides to eliminate the squared. Okay, so we can cancel this out. I hope you can remember in your radicals. And square root of 6, that would be plus and minus. Square root of 36, would become the plus and minus 6. Okay, so let's do this. I will do the positive first. X plus 3 equals 6. That means add 3 on both sides. X would be equals to 9. Okay, so we have our first value of x right here. If I do x minus 3 equals negative 6. Okay, so add 3 on both sides. X is equals to negative 3. And you know, we are asked of how many seconds would that be. So when the time is negative, that is extraneous. We don't have time which is negative, right? So that means it will land 9 seconds after the hovercraft lands on the ground. Okay. Problems like this are the common problems when you are given or asked in a vertex form. Let's do one more problem. The daily profit of a custom t-shirt shop can be modeled by P's of n equals negative n squared plus 60n minus 400, where n is the number of t-shirt produced each day and P's of n is the profit made on that number. Rewrite the function in a vertex form and determine the maximum daily profit. Okay. Usually when it's in the vertex form, the maximum will be when you have the k value of the vertex form. So let's change this into the piece of n is negative n squared plus 60n minus 400. Okay. So step 2 would be look at the coefficient of n. So 60 divided by 2, that's 30. And then you square the 30, that would be 900. So I have step 2 and step 3. Alright. So now I could write down, I could have this n squared. If I write it in a parenthesis, that means this is now a negative 60n. I will add 900 and subtract as well. That's step 3. Add and subtract. Then minus 400. Okay. So I'm gonna do this. Factor n squared minus 60n plus 900 can be factored out as n minus 30 times n minus 30. If we multiply it back, we can come up with n squared minus 60n plus 900. So somewhere here, 900 minus 400, and you have proceeded by a negative sign, so that would be, if I have a 900, so it will be plus, wait, let's do this. So it will be negative, that's positive 900 minus 400. So it will become plus 500. So n minus 30 squared plus 500. Okay. So this is your vertex form this time. Alright. So this is the K. So that means it's $500 is the maximum. You don't need to compute anything. So by looking at the standard form, you know where the maximum value is. So the maximum value this is the maximum profit. I could write this as maximum profit. This is the K, this is the H in our vertex form. Alright, so this is it. This is an example of, problems like in the vertex form. Okay, so I hope you recall and you reviewed what you have learned already in your Algebra 2. Okay, before I end up, would you please send me a like and subscribe this video. Thank you. See you in my next video.